from my heart, hear our heart and our passion for these events, not just to get together, but let's do something significant. Let's do something tangible. Let's sign our names on the dotted line and say we stand with the Jewish people. Hey everyone, my name's Jeff and I'm your host today. Welcome to Keeping It Israel. I'm the host of this podcast. I'm also the executive director of First Century Foundations. And our podcast today is going to be a little different. Normally, I would interview a guest, and we love bringing those guests to you, and we will continue to do so in the future. But today I wanted to just talk a little bit about the Israel Prayer Watch Canada tour and about the summit that is coming up on September 24th in Mississauga, Ontario, Canada. Last December, we got together as a team, Sharon and Laura and Mark and myself, and spent some time worshiping, some time in prayer, and just planning and strategizing for the year 2023. And it was in those meetings, those times that we shared together, that the Lord laid on our heart that we should raise the awareness, give a clarion call to the church, to believers in the Jewish Messiah, about this troubling thing called anti-Semitism that is back on the rise in our world today. We're seeing alarming increase in incidents in Europe and other parts of the world, but also here in the country of Canada and in the United States as well. And we really just felt like, wouldn't it be great if we could go to a number of churches across the country and just pray, get together with believers in Jesus and pray for Israel, pray for the Jewish people, and show our support, our solidarity with the Jewish people against anti-Semitism. And so that's what we endeavored to do. And beginning in June, we started our tour and headed from here in Ontario to the west. And we had lined up prayer meetings in a number of churches. We would have liked to have maybe gotten into a few more, but God gave us opportunities in places like Sudbury and opportunities in Thunder Bay and in southern Manitoba, Brandon in particular. We were in the Regina area at Balgonie, Saskatchewan, and also in Edmonton, Stony Plain area, in Calgary, and then across to Kelowna and Vancouver Island. We were in Sydney and in Ladysmith, and then up in Richmond Pentecostal Church in Richmond, BC, before heading back here to Ontario. And I want to say, first of all, thank you. Thank you to all of you who came and supported us in those prayer meetings, who were part of those times of worship and prayer together. Thank you to every host church who opened your arms and welcomed us in and took care of us and were so hospitable and so warm. We appreciate every last one of you. And I hope that you get a chance to listen to this so that you know just how much it meant to us to be able to come into your community and be able to share with your people and share our hearts about what God is doing in the land of Israel and about how we can partner with all of you regarding that. So that's the first thing I wanted to say is thank you so much. And we are happy to report that God is providing as we have gone across the country and now come back to Ontario. He's provided, the necessary resources for this tour and helped us along the way. And so many of you have been a part of that, and we thank you for that as well. We will begin now. This is sort of mid to late July at the moment, and we'll begin at the end of August again to go from the East Coast. We're booked in Halifax, Nova Scotia on August the 31st. And we'll begin to make our way back then here to Ontario, also hosting prayer meetings throughout we pray. The Maritimes are still looking for opportunities in the Maritimes. If you're a church or somebody who's listening and you're from either Nova Scotia or New Brunswick, we are looking for a host church in the early part of that first week of September. I know it's not ideal with Labor Day weekend and everything, but we would love to be able to have an opportunity there in the Maritimes. We're also looking to have a meeting in Quebec as well as we come through the province of Quebec. And then we'll be in the Ottawa area, the Ottawa Valley, and on into then this part of Ontario, Peterborough and the Greater Toronto area. We're looking forward to that, and we're looking forward to meeting with you at some of those locations. And like I said, if you have a church, or if you know that your church might be able to host us, reach out. We would love to hear from you. My email address is jeff@firstcenturyfoundations with an S.com, firstcenturyfoundations.com. And you can email me directly. We would love to be able to connect with you or connect you with a meeting that we already have somewhere within driving distance of your area. Listen, this is important. As we go from church to church, we're also asking people to sign our solidarity pledge against anti-Semitism. We're building a list of people who are identifying themselves with Israel and with the Jewish people and saying, you know what, we're not going to stand for anti-Semitism. We want to stand with the Jews. We want to be a part of something that lets the Jewish people know that we are with them, that we are shoulder to shoulder with them, and that we're against this hatred that they experience. As part of the preparation for this tour, I was reading and seeking the Lord about a verse that we could use to help us identify with the Jewish people. And I came across Isaiah 44 and verse 5, and it says this: one will say, I belong to the Lord. And another will call himself by the name of Jacob. Still another will write on his hand, the Lord's, and will take the name Israel. Now, I'm not suggesting that Gentiles should become Jewish or anything like that, but saying that we will take the name Israel, that we will identify ourselves with the Jewish people, I think is a great first step for us to be able to stand shoulder to shoulder with them in solidarity against anti-Semitism. So I want to encourage you, if you're watching or you're listening today, go to our website, firstcenturyfoundations.com/IPW Canada. And if you click on the Solidarity Pledge, you'll drop down to that part of the page and be able to read the pledge and then fill in your name and address so that we can add you to this this list of names that we are building in order to be able to say at the end, here's how many people across the country have stood with us and have said, we will not stand for anti-Semitism. You can do that if you're in the US, or if you're in another part of the world, or if you're here in Canada. You can stand in solidarity with us by going to the website and filling out your information and taking the pledge along with us. We would encourage you to do that and be so grateful if you would do that for us. Now, all of this is leading towards something. We're doing the tour. We're gaining momentum, we feel, as we move towards Yom Kippur, towards the Day of Atonement on September 24th. But on the 24th of September, we will be culminating our tour at something called the Israel Prayer Watch Summit. And this is taking place, as I mentioned, in Mississauga, Ontario, at Portico Community Church, 1814 Barbertown Road. And they have been so gracious to open their doors and to host us for this. And we are thankful to Portico, who are supporters of First Century Foundations, and also a place of former ministry for Sharon and I. But it's going to be a great day together. We're starting at 3 p.m. on the Sunday. And in the afternoon, we have two things. We have exhibits of Israel-based ministries who will be there. You can visit their tables, their displays, find out more about the great work that is being done in the name of Yeshua, that is being done on behalf of the Jewish people in the land of Israel. And then also, we have an hour slotted for documentary screenings, and you can choose which documentary you would like to go see in the afternoon. We're showing the Miraculous Peace episode number 5, called from our Miraculous Victories of Israel documentary series. So we'll show episode 5, which is called Miraculous Peace. And it talks about this anti-Semitism that has overcome the world and what it means for us as believers in Jesus, the Jewish Messiah, to be watchmen on the walls of Jerusalem. And then there's also a second documentary that you can choose. It's called Israel and Her Defenders. And it's put on by the Abraham Global Peace Initiative. Avi Ben Lolo has produced this. And it's also an excellent documentary that you're going to want to check out. And so you'll have to choose which one you want to see. There's possible third choice that might be in play by then. But right now we have 2 for sure. And we would love for you to be there at 3 in the afternoon. Then we'll take a bit of a break from 4:30 till 6. If you want to go somewhere in the area for dinner, you can. If you'd like to stay back at the church and fast and pray with us leading up to our meeting time at 6 p.m., we certainly welcome you to do that as well. And then at 6 o'clock, we have an event planned that will be taking place where we've got Dr. Wayne Hilsden from Jerusalem, Israel, is going to be with us. Wayne is the co-founder of King of Kings Community Jerusalem, and he and Ann have served and ministered there in the city of Jerusalem for going on 40 years now. Wayne is also now the president of FIRM, the Fellowship of Israel-Related Ministries. He's a great friend of First Century Foundations and actually helps us and enables us to be able to do the work that we do in the land of Israel. Wayne will be sharing that evening on the subject of defending Israel and standing in solidarity with Israel and the Jewish people, and why this is so important, and why we need to pray and pray for Israel and bless Israel and the Jewish people. And then also Reverend Bill Prankard will bring a short address speaking from his heart about revival and why it's so important for us to pray for and bless Israel and how those things are connected. And we know that you're going to be challenged that evening. It's going to be a great time. We have a worship team led by our own Laura Delegard, and this is going to be an anointed time of worship and then some directed prayer as we join our hearts together and intercede on behalf of Israel, behalf of the nation of Israel, behalf of the Jewish people, and really take a stand together that says we are against hatred and we are for supporting and blessing and loving the Jewish people. That's what we as believers in the Jewish Messiah really need to be about. And so I want to challenge you. You know, we have been talking as we've gone across the country, we've been talking about being watchmen on the walls. And every night in the prayer meetings, I would share these 4 words, you know, that being a watchman means to be observant. We've got to be able to see what's going on the landscape around us. We need to be looking, to be recognizing some of the things that are happening and why those are such a challenge. And that's what it means to be a watchman. We want to be observant. We also want to be vigilant. You know, the illustration that I've been sharing and probably will continue to share is the idea of that lone cowboy in the middle watch of the night, you know, out looking over the herd. That watchman is vigilant. He is not just there sort of doing a shift, but he's looking intently to see if any danger might be coming. He's vigilant in the sense that the protection of the flock is paramount. And so that picture is something that I think is very powerful. And then, you know, we talk about the word herald or harbinger, that a herald or a harbinger not only goes out and finds out what the danger is, but also runs back and tells the people that are under their protection, the people that they're connected with, about the dangers that are coming, and spreads the news, spreads the word, so that they can together face the challenges that are ahead. And then, the last word that we had talked about was the word guardians, that as watchmen, we are also guardians. We are defenders. We are those who will take a stand and stand in solidarity and say that you can come this far, but no more. There's a line that you're not allowed to cross. And as guardians of the Jewish people, of what God has called us to do in terms of standing with them, we want to be guardians as well. So observant, we want to be vigilant, we want to be heralds, and we want to be guardians. And so, as we've shared those things, it's been the challenge that has brought us to a point of prayer and intercession for Israel and for the Jewish people. And I love to share this quote when we go from church to church. It is often said that anti Semitism begins with the Jews, but never ends with them. And we need to be aware of this. We need to understand that if this kind of hatred continues to be allowed to run rampant in our society, that one day they will come for us. They will come for believers in Jesus. They will come for other religions. And so there's an important sort of distinction that we need to make here, that is this is not only about anti-Semitism, it's about hatred in general. And we need to be for love and for blessing and for support and against this kind of hatred that can so easily run rampant in our society and in our world. So I wanted to just bring that to you today. This is probably a little bit shorter podcast than we normally do, but just know, we have been so blessed, Sharon and myself, as we have gone from place to place and met so many wonderful and so many supportive people on this journey. And we are looking forward to the next leg as we come from Halifax back to Ontario in the month of September. But we appreciate your prayers as we go. We would love to meet you if you are in any of these areas. And we would just encourage you, go to the website, firstcenturyfoundations.com/IPW Canada. There will be an up-to-date listing of our itinerary, our schedule. As we come from Halifax back through to Ontario, you'll be able to see where it is that we're going to be from night to night. And we just want to encourage you, if you can make it at all to any of those, God bless you. You are welcome. We would love to have you come. We will be receiving free will offerings at all of those prayer meetings as well for the ministries in Israel and to help with the tour. But we want you to know that you're welcome, and we would encourage you to come and be a part of that. We'd love to meet you. And then if you can make it at all in person to the summit in September on the 24th, that is September 24th, Portico Community Church, 1814 Barbertown Road, Mississauga, Ontario, starting at 3 p.m. The evening session begins at 6 p.m. And we would love for you to be there and join us in person. It's going to be a great night together as we hear from the word, we're challenged, we worship together, and then we take time to pray, to intercede corporately and individually on behalf of Israel and the Jewish people. And we're calling you from all across the Greater Toronto area, from driving distance anywhere outside the GTA. I know some have already talked about flying in for this, and we would just encourage you. We want to update our website so that there's some hotel information there for you if you're coming from afar. But listen, let's get together and let's join our hearts and pray for Israel and for the Jewish people. You're going to love what Wayne has to share, Dr. Hilsden, and you're going to be challenged by Brother Bill Prankard. We have other special guests as well that will be there. And we just want to encourage you, come and be a part of that night. We believe God is up to something, and he's going to do something special, in particular in Mississauga on the 24th of September. And so come, be a part of it. If you can't come, if you're from another part of the country, if you're from the East or West Coast or anywhere in between, and you want to participate, the live stream link will also be on our website. It'll be up there long before the 24th. You'll be able to see what that's going to be. There'll be instructions about how you can log in and join us on the live stream. And we would encourage you, do a watch party, have people come together at your church or at your home, and let's pray together from all across the country. We'll have hosts on there on the live chat who will participate with you, and it is going to be just a great time together. So, wow, that's a lot of things that I've just shared, and I want to make sure that that you got it all. Listen, the best part about it is it's a recording, so you'll be able to go back and listen to this again if you missed something. But can you just kind of, from my heart, hear our heart and our passion for these events, not just to get together, but let's do something significant. Let's do something tangible. Let's sign our names on the dotted line and say we stand with the Jewish people. Again, if you want to go do that right away, you can sign the pledge on the website, firstcenturyfoundations.com/IPW Canada. Sign the Solidarity Pledge. We will see those coming in. You'll get an acknowledgement email, and your name will be added to the list of names that we are building as we've gone across the country. And we would love to be able to have you counted as one of those who stand against anti-Semitism and stand shoulder to shoulder in solidarity with the Jewish people. So I'll wrap up my thoughts here today and just again say thank you for listening. And we hope that we will see you somewhere along the journey from Halifax back here to Ontario and the Greater Toronto area. And we'd love to have you at the summit, whether you can, please come in person if you can make it at all, or connect with the live stream. And we're just looking for a great time together and for hundreds of people to stand with us as we send a message to the Jewish community that we're with you as believers in Jesus. We are with you, we support you, and we are against this hatred that we see in our world. So God bless you today. Thank you for listening to the podcast, and we hope that you'll come back. Shalom.
Thanks for watching. You can listen to this entire podcast on your favorite audio podcast platform. Find the link below. And while you're at it, don't forget to click subscribe and follow us on Facebook so you can stay connected to First Century Foundations. First Century Foundations is committed to helping those in Israel who are most in need. And this is possible because of people like you. Your donations are supporting the Jerusalem Institute of Justice, who care for some of the most vulnerable in the land, especially aging Holocaust survivors. By spending quality time with them, engaging them through activities, and providing them with food and medication, the Jerusalem Institute of Justice and First Century Foundations together are making a real difference in the lives of people who have experienced so much suffering.
People like us who lost everything and live with the pain, to have people that help us a little bit, we're very grateful.
Call or write today and receive our bi-monthly free Israel Prayer Watch to help you stay up to date and pray for all of the ministries we support in Israel. Partner with us for just $30 a month or more. Your gifts are making a difference in Israel today.